Crafts, my channel all about my crafting life. My name is Eve, my pronouns are she, her, and this is Flosstube episode number 18. Today is the 4th of November 2024, and I have so much to share with y'all today. I actually recorded another video at the beginning of October, but when I went to upload that video, it said that the file was corrupted. So, and it was right at the time when we were just about to start moving, so I wasn't able to re-record that, but I would like to touch on some of the things that I worked on in that video. So I have pictures that I'd like to pop in of the things that I worked on, and I'll tell you a little bit about things that I maybe purchased in that video, and then we'll go into like the current video, things that I've worked on since then. It's going to be a little bit of a convoluted episode today, so bear with me. I hope you enjoy. So back in October, or I guess I should say the end of September, because this was filmed, or I tried to film this last video at the beginning of October. I had started work on the second piece in the round robin that I am participating in. This is Rosetta by Ink Circles, and I started and finished Meghan's piece since then. So here is that finish. I used one of the variegated DMC. I don't remember if it was one of the variation or the colorless ones, but it's one of the ones that is highly variegated. And it really looked beautiful on the fabric that she chose. So I was able to package that up and ship it off, and now I have the next piece that I'm working on, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. The next thing that I finished up was another start and finish. I was finally able to come up with a color palette that I liked for the freebie that we got from Midsummer Stitch by hosted by Lindy Stitches, I should say. This is a pattern that was designed by Tiny Modernist, and I stitched it up. It took like 2 or so days to do it, and it was a ton of fun. I did it on this navy Ada, I think it's 14 count, with 3 colors of DMC in the shades of blue that I love, and I really, really like how this one turned out. So that is the Midsummer Stitch freebie. I had 4 starts in the last video, and I, smacking my book, since moving, everything's been packed and kind of shoveled and put away, so I will put in pictures of what these look like when I show them in my video. The first one, I restarted Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. I restarted this one on September 16th, and this is as far as I got then. I have worked on it since, and I will show that to you in just a bit. The next thing that I started was for my birthday. I was debating whether or not I wanted to start a big project or a small project for my birthday, and I decided I wanted to do something small that was manageable, and I picked out This Vehicle Stops at All Needle Workshops by Wax and Moon Designs. Excuse me. And this one is a lot of fun to stitch. It is on a scrap piece of, I think, 38 count Vermeer Blue. It's the same fabric that I'm doing my Octopus's Garden on. And I'm using kind of a mishmash of colors. I I think this is the first piece that I've done a full, like my own color conversion on. The pattern calls for, I think, a mix of weeks and DMC. I switched some things out for things that I had in stash. There's some DMC used, switched some colors around, and I'm really liking how it is turning out. So that is This Vehicle Stops. Next I started on the 22nd of September, which is the autumn equinox, Autumn Bird by Heart and Hand Needle Art. I am doing these ones as my Season of the Bird Cell. This is the last one that I had to start, so now they are all either on the go or finished. I did show a couple of videos ago that I had finished the Winter Bird, so Autumn Bird has been started. This is how far I got since when I recorded that video. I think I have worked on it a bit since then, so yeah, that is Autumn Bird. And the last start that I had is one that I was planning to start back in August, but time kind of got away from me. Honestly, the beginning of the year was so start heavy, I kind of started to burn out a little bit on starts. But I do really want to try and get as many pieces that I had on my plans list started this year, because I do plan on having minimal starts. You know, if something strikes me and I have fabric and floss for it, then I'll go ahead and do that. But I do plan on just focusing on the whips that I have next year and maybe starting a couple of things. But this one I did want to start, and it's Blue Dreams by Barbara Anna. I am stitching this one on a piece of Millennial Fabrics 36 count. It was the fabric of the month for August, I think. I'll put it on the screen somewhere if I'm not right. But it is this beautiful pinky orange color, and I was like, this was made for this pattern. So I got this far on Blue Dreams when I started it, and I'm very happy with my progress. Alright, so I had some whips in that last video. I'll just whiz through them really quickly. I'm going to pop up the picture of where I was before that video and then where I got to when I recorded that video. So the first is the MLK sampler by Stone Street Stitchworks. The next is Cosmic Lover by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by GeckoRouge. The next one is He Is Risen by A New Creation Studio. Then I worked on the Stardew Valley map. I then pulled out Springbird by Heart and Hand. Then I worked on the Just Cross Stitch version of He Is Risen. This one is a design by Laux. And then I lastly pulled out my Candie, who was charted by my friend Kat over at Whittier Stitches. And that's pretty much everything that I worked on in that last video that I would have showed y'all. Really quick, I don't have any of the things that I purchased to show y'all. I did get my fabric of the months from Be Stitch Me and Millennial Fabrics. I got my marketplace pre-orders in from Sarah and Millennial Fabrics. My floss of the months came from Thread the Needle and Millennial Fabrics. Before I left Virginia Beach, I was able to kit up 5 projects at Dying to Stitch, and so that was great. And I did win a giveaway. Pink Lily Patterns ran a giveaway a couple of months ago, and I was chosen as the winner. And I'll pop up a picture on the screen of the pattern I picked out of theirs to stitch. And that's pretty much everything that I covered in that last video, or would have covered had I, been able to post it. Let's jump into what I've been working on since the end of that video. The first one is another finish that I have. If you watched my Queen City Stitch Retreat recap, you'll have already seen this because it was a huge finish for me at the retreat. I am over the moon that this one's done, and started this year too. It didn't take me a bajillion years to do. So I am talking about The Vanishing Isle by Autumn Lane. It was a labor of love at the retreat because I did 1,200 stitches on the final day that we were there, but here is my finish. To pause, for posterity. Finishes usually end up being my cover photos, but here is Vanishing Isle. It is very, very pretty. I did make some changes to the charting of this one that I just, I wanted for example, I know for sure that this tree's trunk was kind of crooked in the original charting. I straightened it out and changed some of those other small things, but I love how it turned out. This fabric is 18 count Mystic Rain. It was the January fabric of the month from Sarah at Millennial Fabrics, and I think that it looks beautiful on here. I was thinking at one point that I was going to stitch the background clouds that are in this pattern. I thought that maybe I should just leave the fabric to speak for that, and I think it's doing a great job. So that is The Vanishing Isle. And that's the only finish that I had in the last, couple of weeks, because moving, things have been hectic. To be honest with you, I haven't stitched a ton. Probably the most stitching that I've done has been when I was at the retreat. But I did do some. The next thing that I want to show y'all is, if I can find it, a couple of starts that I had. Specifically 2 that I started back at the beginning of October that I would have showed y'all, sooner had life not gotten in the way. The first one is Blackbird's Autumn. This one's by Robin Pickens. I started this one on October 1st and straightened out my fabric. This is where I've gotten to so far. I am going to be changing up some of the charting of this one as well, and deciding what I want to do colors wise. That's why I still have some threads hanging here. I'm not done working with them, but I can only work one color so long before I kind of get a little bit bored. So I get to a point where I can stop, and then I usually switch to a different color and just leave that thread. So yeah, that's Blackbird's Autumn. The next art that I had is the Halloween Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. I started this one on the 2nd of October, and this is where I've gotten to. This is 18 count oat milk, I think. Pretty sure, from Millennial Fabrics. And I am loving this little stitch on here. So I'm still gonna have quite a bit of fabric left once I'm done with this one, but I am loving how it's looking on this so far. I did a color conversion for some of the colors, so that I'm doing all of this in just Gentle Art or Classic Colorworks. If I think about it, I will pop up a little graphic here with my conversion of what I decided to do for this piece. Last Start is one that I purchased right before the retreat, and I actually started on the first official day of the retreat, and that one is Serena Sprout by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I am stitching her on 36 count. It's either Peridot or Peridot, I never know how to say that one, by Fiber on a Whim. And this is where I've gotten to on her so far. And the color of this fabric is really washing out. It's definitely more green than showing up on camera. Did I go like way back here? No, that doesn't really help it. It's really pretty. I am very happy with how this one's turning out. I talked about this one also in my Queen City recap. Usually on 36 count I would only use one strand, but the Autumn Lane pieces are definitely need that like more punchiness of color. So I decided to stitch that one with 2 strands, and I pulled out all the stitches on the Lunar Witch, and I've restitched that one now with 2 strands, and I'm going to show that one to you here in just a second. First I want to show you Lovebirds though, because this is another Autumn Lane whip that I pulled out at the retreat. This is where I was the last time that I showed it to y'all. And I guess I can just hold this up. This is where I am now. I think I only put in like a tiny little bit at the top of this heart here. I'm really loving how small and cute this one's turning out to be. I am doing it on 25 count over 1 with 1 strand of Blanc. I think it's either Blanc or 3865. And oh, it looks so cute. I'm very happy. So, I had to show this to Aaron and Cassandra as well, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, so small. How are your eyes? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, well, I'm young. I may as well do the small stuff now, right? Like, while I can still see it. So I worked on Lovebirds, and I think the most the most the most work on a project while at the retreat, I think, was put in on Lunar Witch, because I did end up pulling out all of the stitches that I had in this project and restitching it. So I was here the last time that I showed this to y'all, and I am here now. This is 36 count Dusty Cottage from Stitch Me. There's a gnat in my face. And as you can see, the coverage is significantly better now that I am doing with 2 strands. So I'm glad that I made the decision. I feel silly for not making that decision in the first place, but this is the full height of this project, and I'm really excited to see it come more to life. So that one I have on my, whip wheel. Might spin it at some point if I get, tired of the projects that I'm currently working on. But right now that's more of a Halloween-esque to me, and I am not in the mood for Halloween anymore. I am transitioning into a different mindset, more just fall, at least for the next couple of weeks, and then I will be full-blown into Christmas. So yeah. The last whip that I worked on is I continued to work on Away We Ride. And this one, like I had just said, I had restarted the middle of September, and I will put up again a picture of where I had gotten to, in that video, and then where I am now. So this is a piece that has seen the most love in the last couple of weeks. I have done most of this top border, the inner border, and I've started the words and those borders under those words. I am switching around some of the colors, but I am using the called for colors. But they're not all in the same placement as they would be in the original charting. This fabric is attacking me in the face, is a 36 count Brenda's Brew from R&R Reproductions, and it is very close to the original fabric that this piece was stitched on. Actually, the original piece was stitched on an R&R fabric as well, that they don't actually dye anymore. And luckily, when I was kitting this piece up, the place where I was kitting it up happens to be the home of R&R Reproductions fabrics. So if you're looking for a specific R&R fabric, I would definitely give Dyeing to Stitch a call. If you are looking for a specific R&R fabric, they will most likely be able to either get you the called for fabric or suggest something to you that's similar to that color. And that is all the projects that I've worked on. Let's talk plans really quick. I'm not going to go over everything that I purchased, especially like everything that I got at the Queen City Stitch Retreat. I have a whole other video for that. I will link that up there in the eye for y'all to check out if you haven't seen it yet. But I am going to go through some of the things that I bought in the last couple of weeks. My biggest plan for this month is I'm going on a no-buy. At least for this month, potentially December as well. This doesn't include my clubs, so I will still be getting my fabric from Stitch Me and Millennial Fabrics, and I'll be getting my threads from Millennial Fabrics and Thread the Needle. But I'm not going to buy any more patterns. I'm not going to kit any more projects up, do anything crazy. I'm trying to save some money for the end of the year, Christmas presents for one, and then just the fact that this is not my end stop for moving. I am going to be eventually moving out to Texas, and I want to make sure that I have, obviously my husband and I are not financially destitute or anything, but I would like to be able to have a little bit of cushion in case there's something that comes up and I need to pay for something. So, no buy in November, but I am going to hopefully start 2 projects. The first one is I had planned to start Morning Glory by Nora Corbett this month, and I was like, what do I do for fabric? I have no idea what to do. I have Candie as a whip, but she's the only fancy lady that I've ever started stitching, and to be honest with you, I'm only stitching this one because I want the experience of stitching a Nora, and then I'll have done it, and I chose one that was meaningful. This is the September Flower Morning Glory, and so I have chosen this one because that's my birth month. I chose a fabric that I really love and I think is beautiful, and I am very excited to start it. So I was able to kit this one up while I was at the retreat, actually. The last day that me and Kat were there, we went to the Stitch and Kitten in South Carolina, and I was able to buy everything I needed for her. So I have all of her DMC, and I kitted this morning. I have her full bead pack and Krynic ready to go, and the star of the show, which you're not really going to be able to tell on camera because it is 2 of the colors that show up the worst on camera, but this one is 28 Count Haze from Atomic Ranch, and it is this beautiful purpley gray blue mottled color. I just absolutely love it. This is like my 2 favorite colors. So I plan on starting that one maybe even tonight. We'll see. But definitely sometime this week, so that I can say I had a November start, and I might just work on that one as much as I can through November. The other plan that I have is my Millennial Round Robin. So I got Lisa's project next, and she's stitching hers on this beautiful piece of Atomic Ranch fabric called Pampas Reed, and the 2 people before me, so Lisa and the person before me, picked DMCs to stitch with, so I figure I'll just keep going with the DMC. And I picked my favorite color, which is 931. And I did already get a start on this one. I have already put in the full border and have started on my inner circle. And I'm really loving how this is turning out. So this is also a plan for the next, you know, how long it takes me to finish it. I would like to try and finish it by the 10th, if I can, because we're trying to ship them out, I think, around the 15th, and I have a new plan start for the 11th as well, which I think I may have left over there, so I'm gonna go grab it. But I would like to get that one done and shipped out because I've been late the last couple of times. So if I can get that one done and shipped, then I don't have to worry about it until I receive the next shipment to do. So let me show you the other start that I have planned for the 11th. So the other planned start that I have is We Remember from Plum Street, and I am going to start this one on Veterans Day. I have colors. I still need to like kit up the DMC, but these are the fancy flosses I'm going to use. I have the DMC. I just need to put them on floss drops, and I need to decide on a fabric. I have a couple of scraps that I think would fit this already. I just need to try to find them, dig them out of the mess of the bins that is my craft room now. We'll see if I can manage to do that in the next couple of days. Alright, so now I have a couple of things that I want to show you that I've purchased, and then I will let you go. So the first thing that I want to show y'all is another giveaway that I won. If you're not following Marie Minder on Instagram, definitely would suggest it. She makes the cutest clay needle minders, floss drops, floss like card situations, and I was lucky enough to win her Halloween bundle that she was giving away. So it came in this cute little box. She wrote me a nice little note, and I'm gonna try to open this without crinkling a ton. So the star of the giveaway is the needle minder. Oh, I didn't even know that there was two in here. Oh my gosh. Like, I opened this to check and make sure that everything looked like it was in there, but then I closed it back up. I didn't realize there were two needle minders. So these are the ones that I won. Aren't they cute? This ghost is giving me life. I love him. And these will definitely go on a Halloween project. She does really cute little backers as well. They're not just magnet. But then she like paints the clay to change certain things. So this are perfect. Love. But wait, there's more. She also included, these are some homemade floss drops that are clay as well. So these ones have little skeletons on them, And these ones are little spider webs. I have 3 of each of those. So cute. So, love those. And she also 3D prints some stuff. So I have a full set of these really adorable ghost floss drops, and you probably can't tell, but they are sparkly. I don't know if I can bring them close enough that you can see the sparkle. Maybe a little bit. And I have like a full set of those, so I am really excited to be able to use my new goodies. So thank you, Abby, for such an amazing little bundle that you gave away, and I am so thrilled to be able to use your products and talk about them, and just thank you again. It was so kind of you to run this giveaway, and I am over the moon that I was the one who was able to win. So that's my first little bit of haul/happy mail. Second is the rest of the things that I bought at Stitching Kitten. And I'm going to crinkle a bag really quick, so I'm going to cut that out while I grab the things. So I purchased a cut of Tombstone from Lap and Loops. This is a 40 count, and it's another purpley gray, and it's not going to show up how beautiful it is in person. So that's Tombstone. And I specifically, when I went into Stitching Kitten, and they said that they had the Lap and Loops trunk show, I was really hoping that they had Grandpa's Shop Rag, but they didn't have that one. But I was like, oh, I want to use it for Glenda's Garden, the artsy housewife pattern with the house and the raven. And one of the ladies who worked in there was like, oh, I have a good fabric for that. I have a good sub for it. Let me go grab it. And so she brought in this one. And wouldn't you know that this is the called for fabric for Glenda's Garden. It's Pumpkin King. Yeah, Pumpkin King by Atomic Ranch. So she found me a 28 count even weave. I was actually hoping to get a 28 count even weave of the Grandpa Shop Rag, because I want to do Glenda's Garden really little, so I'm going to do it over 1 on this 28 count, I think, if I end up using this for that project. If not, this will go into stash for something fun and witchy. I think also Away We Ride, or Tonight We Ride, I think is what it's called, by Autumn Lane. Look awesome on here. So this, I'm still deciding on what I want to do with it. We'll see if you know, anything comes up. I will make sure to let you know. And then the last thing that I got that wasn't all of the goodies for Morning Glory is this pattern from Bella Filipina. This is the glass slipper, and this is the Cinderella inspired princess that, you know, they do a whole bunch of these. I think they have Jasmine and Snow White. They might have Sleeping Beauty. Don't call me on that. Quote me. Don't call me on that. Don't quote me on that. But I had promised myself that I would not buy this one unless I saw her in person at an LNS, and I did, and so I grabbed her. Fabric wise, I have no idea what I want to do. It's gonna have to be either a 28 or a 32 count because beads. And I don't have a ton of either of those in stash. I guess I could potentially do this on a 36 or a 40, make it little, and then just sub the beads for something else. We'll see. But she is so pretty. I am so excited to be able to stitch her. Other things that I got at the retreat that I purchased. I bought 3 patterns from Autumn Lane, and they are Autumn Town, Baba Yaga. And Hallows Eve Haunting. Alright, so that's all my Queen City stuff that I bought. I definitely got gifted a lot of things. I picked up some freebies from the freebie table. But again, if you want to see what I got in totality from Queen City, go and watch my recap video. You'll see everything talked about in depth. Alright, I want to quickly go over, I got my October threads from Thread the Needle. This is what it was inspired by and the colors. And there they are. I got my September floss and fabric from Millennial Fabrics. I also have October as well, but so flosses, I don't know if I want to take these out and go through them, but like you can kind of see the colors that were chosen for September. And then this is the fabric. It's another beautiful greeny color, and this one's called Lady Frankenstein. I don't know if there's a better lighting situation. Let's see if I turn off this lamp. Is that any better? Not really. There you go. Lady Frankenstein was for September. And then for October, for Millennial Fabrics, I got floss and fabric, the flosses, here and here, colors, ta-da, ooh, ah, and the fabric, Frozen Winter Skies. I am blown away. This is absolutely stunning. I am very excited to stitch something on here. And then I also got my this October, yeah, from Be Stitch Me, Through the Stones. Also from Millennial Fabrics, I purchased and got the ornament issue of Just Cross Stitch. I do collect these now, Just Cross Stitch magazine in general. So I am happy to have that. I need to look through and mark a few projects that I'm interested in stitching. Not this year, because I have 4 projects I'm hoping to start in December. We'll see. Again, life is kind of hectic, but here's hoping. So thank you all for sticking around and watching this very chaotic video. I apologize for the amount of times that I cut and clipped things together. There were dogs barking, people yelling hello, and getting up, and it's a little bit of a more chaotic episode this time, but I'm really excited to be able to show you what I've been working on, and thank you for patience with me while I go through transition stuff, and I'll make sure to let you all know, when big things are happening next. I'm gonna call it there. I hope y'all have a good one, and until next time, happy stitching.
I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.